Today I will take you through an after-work yoga flow to relieve tension all over the body after sitting all day. This class is great for those who have been working in an office all day, or anyone else who would like a deep stretch after work. Grab your mat and get ready to begin. Kia ora and welcome to Asana with Jess. Starting in our Virasana, our hero pose. Gently looking down with your eyes closed. Taking some deep inhales in through the nose and out through the mouth, setting an intention for today's practice. Shift your weight onto all fours. Slide your hands forward and sink your chest to the earth, keeping your hips parallel to your knees, coming into our extended puppy dog pose. Ground your elbows on the mat and bring your hands into a prayer pose above your head. Rest your forehead lightly on your mat. This will release the tension in the upper back area. After sitting all day, you may feel a lot of tension in between your shoulders. Embrace this tension and send your breath to it. Relaxing further into this pose with every exhale. And when you are ready, gently make your way back up onto all fours. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees off the ground and hover here for a second. Inhaling, and on the exhale, push the hips to the sky, downward dog. Pedal the feet out here if you need. Now push your feet towards the ground, igniting a deep stretch in the hamstrings and the calf muscles. Roll vertebrae by vertebrae into a plank position. Bend at the knees and push the hips back to the sky, downward dog. Wave-like motion into plank, bend the knees, downward dog, and repeat this movement, mimicking a wave-like motion. Roll like a wave into plank one more time. Tuck the elbows in, chaturanga, upward facing dog. And take a moment here. Take a deep inhale and refocus yourself. Push off the feet, leading with the hips, pushing back down into a downward dog. Lift the right foot into the air, three-legged dog, keeping the hips parallel to the mat. Feeling the stretch in the hamstring intensify. Tuck the knee into the chest, engaging the core, and place that knee down on the mat, making sure your foot is parallel to the knee, untucking that back foot. Pause here for a moment, igniting a deep stretch, opening up the hips. Now you can choose to stay here, or if you want to advance this pose, lift your back foot off the ground and reach that left arm behind you, holding onto that foot. Inhale, and on the exhale, try and pull that foot a little bit closer towards the body. And releasing that foot back to the earth. Tuck the toes under, lift your front foot up, placing it down near the edge of the mat. Push your knee away from your body, tipping your foot onto its side. And if you would like to, you can bring your hands down to the mat. This is going deeper into those hip muscles. You are welcome to stay here, or you can lift that back foot off the mat and reach the opposite arm around to hold on to it. And releasing that foot back to the earth, tucking those toes under, lifting that back knee, keeping that front knee bent but rolling your foot so that it is now flat, and coming up into our Crescent Lunge. Tip your right arm back, bringing it to the back of your left leg, and bring your left arm over the head. This is a variation of our reverse warrior. Inhale, and on the exhale, come back up to center. Draw the hands to the earth and push that bent leg into the sky, three-legged dog, and releasing back into our downward dog. Pedal the feet out once more. Roll forward into plank and take a chaturanga. Push back into downward facing dog. Lift the left leg into the sky, this time three-legged dog. Hold here for a moment, stretching that calf muscle. Tuck the knee into the chest and place that knee on the mat, untucking the back foot, ensuring the ankle is parallel to the knee. Welcoming warmth into the body through our Pigeon Pose. You can stay here, or you can lift your back foot off the mat, pulling it in towards the body with your right hand. And release that foot to the mat, tucking the toes under, lifting the front knee and placing that foot down near the edge of the mat. We're going to push our knee away from the body, turning the foot onto its side. If you would like to advance this pose, lift your back foot off the mat, reach towards it with your left hand, grab onto it and pull it in towards the body. This ignites a deep stretch through the quadricep muscle. And release that foot to the mat. Tuck the toes under and come up, keeping that front leg bent, but moving your foot so that it is now flat, lifting the arms into a crescent lunge. Tip the left arm back, bringing the right arm over the head. The alteration of our reverse warrior. And returning to center, drawing your hands to the earth and pushing that left leg back up into the sky, three-legged dog and downward dog. Roll through to plank and take your chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And pushing off our feet, hips to the sky for our downward facing dog. Taking at least 4 small steps, walk towards your hands. coming into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Intertwine your fingers behind your legs, pulling your shoulder blades apart. Coming up, halfway lift and releasing. Bend at the knees, bring the arms into the sky and bringing them down to heart center. With your feet hip width apart, bring your hands into the sky and squat down into our chair pose, our Utkarasana. Draw your hands to prayer and take a twist, bringing your left elbow to your right knee. To advance this pose, bring your left hand to the mat and bring your right arm up in the sky, looking up at that arm or looking down at the mat. Bring your hands back to your heart. Slowly turn inwards and come back into your chair posture. Draw your hands to heart center again, and this time twist to the other side. Right elbow to left knee. Once again, you can bring your hand to the ground if you want to advance this pose. Bring your hands back to prayer pose, twist to center, and come into a forward fold. Staying in this forward bend, bend one knee. This deepens this stretch. Straighten out both legs. Now bend the other knee. And return back to your normal forward fold. Step back into plank and take your chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Pushing off the feet, hips to the sky, downward dog. Step forward into low lunge, followed by the other foot. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Bend at the knees, hands to the sky, drawing the hands to heart center. Extend your arms above your head, stretch out as long as you can, and take a baby back bend. Bend at the hips, forward fold, and step back into plank. Take another chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And pushing back into our downward dog. When you are ready, drop to your knees and sit back, coming into a kneeling position at the back of your mat. Sit up tall, elongating your spine and roll your shoulders back. Lift the right arm over the head, stretch back as far as you can, looking up at that hand. And alternate, this time putting the left arm into the sky, looking up at that arm. And return to center and transition into a child's pose. We are going to take some more wave-like motions, this time rolling the spine up onto all fours and drop the hips for cobra. Lead with the hips pushing back into our child's pose, roll the spine forward into our cobra and repeat this motion. This increases the mobility of the spine and will get the blood flowing. Take one more wave-like motion, stopping in our cobra, and this time pushing the hips to the sky for our downward dog. Take 4 to 6 small steps towards your hands, coming into a forward fold. Bend your knees and lower yourself to the mat. Draw the feet in towards you for our bound angle pose, our Baddha Konasana. Keep your spine elongated and your shoulders back. You can stay here, or you can shuffle a little bit forward on your mat, keeping your legs bound and reclining, coming onto your back. This is a bit more relaxing and can be easier to meditate in this pose. Remind yourself of what your intention was that you set for today's practice. Are you upholding it? If you are, well done. If you aren't, what needs work? Feeling the deep inhales and exhalations with your hands on your tummy, your puku. Think about your happy place. Where would it be? Imagine you are there right now. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and open your eyes, bringing your life back into the body. Coming up onto your elbows, releasing your feet, turning on your mat and coming into the same position that we started with, hero pose. Ngā mihi nui, thank you so much for joining me at the beautiful Whangamata Beach in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Sending you love and light. Namaste.